Hello. So good to
Hi,
see you guys.
ladies.
Hello. It like hit me as you pushed record, Bree. Like this is legit March reading recap. Like
Legit
we're
March reading.
we're already just into the third. Like
And mine
let's
is so far from a recent reading recap. Like I went into the way, way back of
Archive.
2025 that I read um, because I
Yes.
have only been reading author books and Red Rising.
hey, nothing wrong with that.
So
Nothing
I
wrong.
I think I brought a children's book to our last reading recap. So like
Anything goes.
Yeah, so
Anything
I was
goes.
like,
You
I
know,
technically didn't like really recap these last year, so I'll bring them to this time.
there you go.
there you go. Cause why not?
But in terms of recording, yes, you're 100% right. This is
Yeah. We're recording
I
March
just
for
say
March,
that.
but we didn't read in March.
There you go. I just say that because I'm like, wow, like where is this year going? It's already. Emily was texting me about planning her. You have a 1 year old.
My youngest turns 1 tomorrow.
I know.
No shit. It's already
She
been a
texted
year.
me
it's already
that.
been a year.
It's been a year.
She texted me that,
Literally
and
a year.
I said, hold up, wait,
Yeah.
what?
I feel like you
Yeah.
just had him.
I know.
I did. I feel bad. He's 1 tomorrow, and I am
Crazy.
like all the emotions across the
Oh.
board with having a 1 year old and then also a 3 year old. Megan, we were just kind of chatting about there's a lot of emotion in our house
Yeah.
right now.
Not
Myself,
just my
three-
emotions, their
right,
emotions too.
their emotions too, right? And but yeah, he turns 1 tomorrow. It's
My
crazy.
gosh. Are you doing a party this weekend or
We are. So we've
what's your
got
plan?
family coming into town. Jordan was asking me if I have a theme, and I wish I was that like Pinterest put together to have a theme. But I don't. I just have like blue and green and gold color scheme
Cute.
balloons and like, things around. But I mean, to be honest, like a first birthday, it's a milestone. It's exciting. It's wonderful. But in my opinion, my humble opinion, it's for the parents.
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
your
Oh, for
child
sure.
is not going to remember.
No.
Like it's for the parents, and then it's for all the pictures with the smash cake that you
Yes.
can then like bring
isn't
back up like years later.
Yes.
is that not the case basically for like every birthday kind of like up to like grade school age where you start having I don't know, like even at 3, like there's pictures of my third birthday party
It's a
with
lot. I
the
mean,
cake smashing, but that wasn't like that
I
was
don't know if
Yeah.
like I don't know, Megan, your thoughts. For me, the 1 year old birthday is like distinctly for the parents, like where we're doing a dinner. So we have friends coming over and our family's in town, and so drinks will be served, and there is
Yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
nice food, and it is like more of a
It's an
giant
event.
family
It's
day
more of an event
event.
than just a birthday party.
Correct. It's like
there
an
you go.
equal parts like for the adult and for the kids, right?
Yeah.
Then at like 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the way up, it's progressively, at least my experience, like for the kid. Like so,
Yeah.
second birthday is like they can actually run around and play together, and third, you're just sending them to a park so they can be feral all over the playground. And it's more like for the kids, less for the adults.
Yeah, last year, so Leo turned 4 over the summer, and
Yeah.
that was his like we invited like school friends, like it was like his
Yeah.
crew of, and that was probably my favorite theme. It was holy macaroni, and it was a macaroni and hot dog themed birthday party, and it was
Megan, I
awesome.
loved it.
But
That's
love
so
it.
Literally, the
fun.
food was the decorations. It was perfect.
Clutch, clutch. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so great. Oh my gosh. I love
We
that.
were thinking too. So my 1 year old will be turning 2 in August, so still have a while. But I was thinking of doing because she's just so like Miss Independent. Like I've got to do whatever I want to do, and so my sister-in-law was like, "What if you do it like it's May's Way or the Highway, and we do it like Route
Cute.
66, like
Cute.
biker girl theme?" And I'm like, hell yes. Let's
Cute.
That
bring
is
on like
so
the
fun.
vintage, bring on the
Yes.
leather. Like a 2 year old in a little leather outfit. I'm dying.
I
It's
love
gonna
it.
be so good. Please
It's like,
share
can we put
pictures.
pink in there too? Like a little bit of pink somewhere with the
Oh yeah.
leather. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
so cute. So cute.
I'm
Yes.
dying. That is
Mm.
so excellent. Oh,
Yes.
I love it. I love
But
it.
Emily, to your point, like her first birthday, the theme was "It's your birthday."
It's your birthday.
We're having a party. Congratulations, you're one.
The theme is congratulations. We've all made it a year.
A year. The
Yes.
one thing, and this won't make sense much on like the recording side, but I'll text you guys a picture after this. So my 1-year-old has like wild, crazy hair. He was born with a mohawk. I can't make this up. Like legitimately had like a mohawk and the wild, crazy hair. And it's the first thing people always say. So the party favors are these because it matches his little hair. Like, so this has been on my desk all week. It's like the most adorable thing I think I've seen.
That is adorable.
So cute.
Oh my gosh, I
Love it.
But yeah, so we're in party prep mode starting like now.
And here we are recording.
Yeah. Hey, you know,
Well,
cheers.
cheers to that.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Hey, book and wine lovers, we have the best, all caps best news for you. Volume 2 of Bookish Wine is officially available to order, and we have a special offer to share with you. Use our new code NARRATIVES30 for $30 off Volume 2 at bookishwine.com. If you're new to Bookish Wine, it's a quarterly subscription club, or one-time boxes are available too, bringing a special edition romantasy book and artisan-crafted bottle of wine right to your door. Here's what you can expect with the Volume 2 box. A special edition of Bound by Hearts and Stone by Lauren Sinatra, completely exclusive to Bookish Wine members. We're talking hardcover with sprayed edges, foiled details, character art, and more. Then you'll escape into the world with the boutique wine pairing, crafted to reflect the story's themes, characters, and mood. Plus, we know the artist design label will be gorgeous and complement the book. Now, here's another thing that's totally unique about Volume 2. You'll receive a free audiobook code. That's right, you'll be able to listen with your ear holes, read with your eyeballs, or both. Head to bookishwine.com and use code NARRATIVES30 by March 15th, 2026 for $30 off and upgrade your reading nights with this immersive, unique bookish experience. Must be 21 or older. Please sip and savor responsibly. We'll get to the books so that you can do that, so that I can go to bed. I don't know what everybody else does in the weird time area. Like, don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. So I know I've said it before. Sorry, now tangent. How like when we started this, I never thought that I would have to spend so much time on time zones and like calculating people's time zones. And now I'm having to calculate it for months out when like, well, some states are going to spring forward, but some states aren't, but some countries do, but some countries don't. And what does that mean 6 months from now when like you guys, I added one to the calendar recently and I was like, all I know is that it is at this time in that location. What that means for everybody else, I don't know. We'll find out when that time comes, but I was like, I don't know, but I do know that it's at their time.
I know. Well, I loved it. You were texting me earlier today, planning like internationally, and I was like, "Oh, this time works for me." And you're like, "That's midnight over there, so that's not gonna work." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, never mind."
I feel your pain. My day job is a global director for a logistics company. And so like mapping out time zones across the globe, there are certain ones that you just start memorizing because of how common they are, but it's like a full-time job.
And I don't, okay,
Yeah.
so maybe you do this on the regular. I don't know if I could handle it. I get so stressed about it because I'm like, what if I didn't do it correctly? And even though I have like the whole world clock pulled up in front, and I'm like, it says it's this time, but what if I didn't do it right? And it's not. So, I mean,
And then they just decline your request because they're like, "No."
like interview canceled.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think, yeah, it's tough to try to find the right time, but most people are pretty forgiving. I've definitely sent invites that they're like, we're really excited to talk to you, but that is 3 a.m. How about this time?
We're not that, not that
sounds good.
excited.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That excited.
Oh, speaking of exciting things, real quick, two things. One, finished Project Hail Mary.
I s-
So good. The first thing my husband said to me was, how are you pronouncing the like material that they're, because I don't want to give this away for you, Bree. So how are you pronouncing what they're, trying to fix in this, the material they're trying to fix? So we had to have like oh, well, I said it this way. Oh, well, I said it this way based on how it's spelled. So that was our first conversation. The second conversation was, how did you feel about the ending? So Bree, I'll leave that in like a Twilight Zone. Do 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 do. See what you think, because I don't want to give it away. But so finish that. Second, started Iron Gold. I'm like all of 5 pages in, but I'll let you know how it goes.
Oh.
It's downloaded on my Kindle, Iron Gold, Megan, so I will be right behind you.
Yes.
I am so excited.
I had to finish Hail Mary to like get back into like the sci-fi world, and now I'm like, okay, we can get back to that.
Oh my gosh.
I'll answer one of your questions, very Twilight Zone-y, is I liked the ending.
I did too. I thought it was good. Okay. But see, my husband was like, I don't know, it didn't seem realistic. And I'm like, the whole thing isn't realistic. Like, what do you mean it doesn't seem realistic?
Because Jared's read it, right, Bree?
Did you like the ending of Project Hail Mary? See what he says.
Okay. I was like, oh, are you calling my friend?
Oh, a friend, Liz.
Oh no, I just didn't want to text with one hand because we would have been here forever. All right, well, he might. Oh wait, he's responding.
Oh my gosh, wow, that was fast.
Bubbles,
Okay.
bubbles.
What does he say?
Well, he's in bed, so I'm like, he's not doing anything.
He's scrolling. He's scrolling.
He said, didn't love it, but wasn't mad about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was kind of what Mark said too. I mean, yeah.
I thought the ending, my prediction, and I'll leave this very vague, I thought the ending was headed to a very tragic conclusion.
Same.
So I was very happy with
Grateful
the
to be
ending.
spared that. Yes.
Grateful to be spared the heartbreak.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. There you go.
Pleasantly surprised. Yes.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Yes.
And on that note, Megan, what is your night?
Yes. On that note, okay, so I don't know if I've already said this one, but I'll say it again because this is my like. So Iowa State Fair has a big craft beer tent. I'm sure all state fairs do. I just always gravitate to this one at Iowa State Fair, and they serve a blood orange wheat beer that is so good. So Emily, like you said, I kind of am feeling this like spring summer vibe. The weather's been so iffy. So blood orange beer just makes me think of summertime. This one is from a brewery in Bondurant, which is really close to me. So blood orange wheat from Reclaimed Rails is my nightcap of choice. This recap.
Yeah.
I like it.
And my first book. So this is one that I know I've talked to you guys about it, but I was like, I don't know the right time to like bring this in because it's a really, really sad book.
I saw that you were going to bring this. I was like, all right, here we go.
I chose March to break everybody's heart. But I wanted to recap A Little Life by Hanya Yanigahara. And I'm so sorry that I just butchered that name, but my bad. Okay, a little bit of the setup. Thank you, Goodreads, per usual. When 4 classmates from a small Massachusetts college move to New York to make their way, they're broke, adrift, and buoyed only by their friendship and ambition. There is kind, handsome Willem, an aspiring actor, JB, a quick-witted, sometimes cruel, Brooklyn-born painter seeking entry into the art world, Malcolm, a frustrated architect at a prominent firm, and withdrawn, brilliant, enigmatic Jude, who serves as their center of gravity. Over the decades, their relationships deepen and darken, tinged by addiction, success, and pride. Yet their greatest challenge, each comes to realize, is Jude himself. By midlife, a terrifyingly talented litigator, yet an increasingly broken man, his mind and body scarred by an unspeakable childhood, and haunted by what he fears is a degree of trauma that he'll not only be unable to overcome, but that will define his life forever. So I audiobooked this because, as I've mentioned in the past, if it's been sitting on my TBR for a very long time, the quickest way for me to get to it is to audiobook. And this one, I think I mentioned this before, but it's narrated by Matt Bomer, which is literally like listen to anything. But I mean, obviously he's a wonderful actor and his performances are great, but to hear him read this story, like there is so much passion in his voice. He makes I don't think if this ever became a movie, I don't think I could see any of these characters without his voice in there somehow, if that makes sense. So I mean, he just really, really brought this story to life. So props to him, because it was just like, I don't know. It felt like I was listening to a performance. Like, it was just beautiful. So enough on that, though. At first, when you start getting into the book, you don't quite realize who the book is about, especially if you're me and go in blind 99.9% of the time. So you get to really know the backstory on all four of these friends, which I really appreciated, because then you know, their upbringing, where they came from, why they're, kind of the mannerisms and the way they act and everything, where that stems from. But then as the story unfolds, obviously you learn that it's about Jude. And there are scenes in this book that I cannot, quote, unsee. Like, it's just, when you start to hear his story, the more you learn, it's almost like the less you wish you knew. And it is just so tragic. So I said triggers everywhere, because this is very, very difficult to read or listen to. I did it when I was still pretty postpartum, which that was hard to do. And then also being the mother of a young son, that was extremely difficult, because you learn a lot about the childhoods that some of these boys had. And I think that was probably one of the most difficult parts. Especially you find out that the title of the book comes from a very specific scene in the book, or at least that's what I'm alluding to. And it's probably one of the worst things you could ever read. So, again, love, like, this is one that, like, it will stick. It is devastatingly beautiful. Like, it will stay with you. It will probably overpower you for a long time. I know, Brie, you've said, like, someone mentioned there was life before this book and then there's life after this book. And that's absolutely a true statement. I feel like it is a very definable period of time once you read this. And so I think that those moments will stay with you for a long, long time. So just probably be in the right headspace, be in the right setting, if you will. This is extremely triggering. It's also extremely unforgettable. So ensure that you're safe when you're going through this. And the last thing I'll leave you with is, I think probably, other than obviously the trauma, one of the most beautiful aspects of this book is the friendship that literally has saved each other's lives. Like, think of this as, oh my gosh, it's not Homeward Bound. That's the animal one. What's the one about all of the boys on
Sandlot?
an adventure? What?
Sandlot?
No. That's a baseball one. Oh my gosh, someone's gonna be like yelling at me when they listen to this. What is the movie? Well, whatever. It's an adventure about, it's like four young boys and they're like trying to figure out themselves and like all of the friendships and the hardships that come with that. And I
Are you
think they're
talking
like,
about Stand By Me?
yes, thank you. Stand By Me.
Got you.
Picture that, but like much more trauma and more adult.
More trauma than that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say so. So,
Okay.
yeah, wonderful story. Very hard to get through. Has anyone else read it?
I
I've
read it, but I've
wanted
literally
to.
had it for 5 years, I
Yeah.
think.
That's how I felt too. That's why I was like, I just gotta do it. I've just gotta plug in. So
Yeah, well, and I think every time I go to read it, it's always like December, and I'll be like, wow, that seems really
Really
sad.
I'm not sure this is the right time for that.
Um, but I mean, I'm gonna get to it at some point.
eventually, yes,
Yes.
eventually. It's, I mean, again, I would also highly recommend the audiobook. I mean, again, it was very performative. And if that's something that helps you get through something difficult like this, I would say that's the route to go through so that maybe it doesn't burn in your brain quite as much. But
Yeah.
okay, my next book, not much more of a high note, to be honest. It's called The Paper Palace by Miranda Cowley Heller. Has anyone read this one?
You betcha.
All right. So this setup, again, brought to you by Goodreads. It is a perfect July morning, and Elle, a 50-year-old happily married mother of 3, awakens at the Paper Palace, the family summer place where she has visited every summer of her life. But this morning is different. Last night, Elle and her oldest friend Jonas crept out the back door into the darkness and had sex with each other for the first time, all while their spouses, and I should mention children, chatted away inside. Now, over the next 24 hours, Elle will have to decide between the life she made with her genuinely beloved husband, Peter, and the life she always imagined she would have with her childhood love, Jonas, if a tragic event hadn't forever changed the course of their lives. As Heller colors in the experiences that have led Elle to this day, we arrive at her ultimate decision with all its complexity. Tender yet devastating, The Paper Palace considers tensions between desire and dignity, the legacies of abuse, and the crimes and misdemeanors of families. So this one was a book club pick for my book club in, I want to say January. So it's been a minute.
Some
since
hard
I read
hitters.
it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, wow.
I
The
feel
next- the
like
next
you
one we're-
pretty consistently brought some book club picks, and all of us at this point now are like, all right, that
We have a
bold
tone,
choice.
apparently.
Dude.
Bold
very
choices.
consistent.
Bold choices.
The next one that we're gonna read is called Blue Sisters, and I'm pretty sure one of them dies. So we're gonna keep on the same
I've
track.
heard really good things about that one, though. I
Yeah.
have heard really good things about that one, though. Okay, tell us your thoughts on the Paper Palace.
Okay, yes. So again, book club pick, and I feel like sitting down and discussing this with our book club, it hit everyone differently. Like everyone had a very different feeling about this novel. Again, lots of trigger warnings. There are some very not great things that happen, especially from like a younger adult perspective. But I personally found the main character to be a little frustrating, especially because you guys know me. Like I don't love when people have a hard time making decisions, especially between people that they love. I said the same thing about the Taylor Jenkins Reid book I just brought, of just like make a choice, be bold, stick with it. Like I don't know why there's so much back and forward. So I found that a little bit frustrating because obviously like she's with the love of her life, her husband, but then there's this childhood boyfriend, best friend, whatever that creeps in. I'm just like, girl, like you can't, you're 50 now. You can't be doing these things. But I do feel like I have to give her a little bit of grace because she went through some shit growing up. So I'm like, okay, your boy Jonas was there for that. I get that.
Yeah.
But also surprising crime. Again, went into this blind, didn't know there was going to be a little bit of crime happening there. So there's that to look forward to. I said, my next bullet point is intimacy on the beach or in the pond gives me the ick because there's a lot of
Good, though.
just
It should.
sand, that's too much algae, that's too much like exposure to your body in places that I don't think should see those types of surfaces. And because they're, at a beachfront property and they like have these lakes and lagoons that they swim in, a lot of intimacy happens in those places. And I'm just like, I think maybe you need to clean things out after that. I don't know. But the last thing I'll say is this kind of gave me We Were Liars vibes, if you will, but as grown up adults.
I was about to say just older.
Yes, older, because there's definitely the family dynamic, the family drama. You have a very strong like matriarch of the family who also went through her own shit, and then she kind of passes that down to her kids, and just kind of, like We Were Liars has like the very powerful grandfather figure and how his family is kind of ruled by that. And then a lot of the dynamic within siblings and kind of their rivalries, and then what that looks like to an outside perspective. So I would say, like, overall, I did really enjoy this book. Like I said, it kind of hits everyone differently. So if you disagree with me, by all means, please do. But yeah, that was my second book.
Interestingly enough, it is not a book that I remember liking.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I liked it. I read it a long time ago. I can't remember if it was a book club pick for me or not. I'm pretty sure it was. So I'm with you. I remember the frustration with the main character. I remember being left just kind of feeling meh with the ending.
Yes.
Like it just was not. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
cool, great, okay.
I'm
And
glad you
forgot.
brought up the ending because it definitely ends on, I don't want to say a cliffhanger, but it kind of is. Like, you don't really know the ultimate decision. And I think that bothered a lot of people too when we were
Yes,
reading it
yes.
because you don't
Yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like, she has all of these really deep, meaningful conversations, and then you're kind of just like, well, what'd you decide? And you don't really know.
I'm super
say-
torn because, like, on one hand, you say it gives we were liars vibes, and I'm like, oh, I'm in. But then you
Yes.
tell me you also compare it to One True Loves, which I literally could barely make it through that book.
But I think if I remember correctly, the female main character from One True Loves is much more likable.
And I didn't like that
Then-
book.
I don't know. Emily's been dying to say something. What
Oh,
were you
no,
gonna say?
mine's a very little comment. I was just gonna say, Megan, all that's in my head is that scene from Tarzan where Tantor goes, "Is this water sanitary?"
Yes,
Yeah,
that's literally
yeah.
so true. Because I mean, there's even like descriptions of like the pond has this and this, and like they swim through it, and I'm like, that can't be safe.
No,
that
like,
cannot be
This is not
clean.
sanitary.
No, like,
No.
excuse my French, but I don't want to be finger blasted in a pond of algae.
That is just a UTI waiting
I
to
was gonna say,
happen.
that's a UTI waiting to happen. You right there.
My Lord. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Okay.
Oh,
well,
on that note.
I shall pivot a little bit. For my nightcap that I'm bringing to this recap this month, I gotta go with a frozen strawberry margarita. I had one this weekend. I like Emily am dealing with bipolar weather situations. It's in the 60s and 70s 1 minute, and then it's raining off and on, and it's only 40 or even 30 the next, and you're like, what the heck is happening? So yes, tonight I drink water and some ginger ale, but I am manifesting spring summer with a frozen strawberry margarita.
Yeah.
Okay, for my first book, I was really I was iffy on bringing this, I'll be honest, but I just had to once I finally was able to finish it. So, listener, co-host, let me tell you about Ask Not, The Kennedys and the Women They Destroyed by Maureen Callahan. Here's the setup courtesy of Goodreads. Thank you, thank you. The Kennedy name has long been synonymous with wealth, power, glamour, and above all else, integrity. But this carefully constructed veneer hides a dark truth. The pattern of Kennedy men physically and psychologically abusing women and girls, leaving a trail of ruin and death in each generation's wake. Through decades of scandal after scandal, from sexual assaults to reputational slander, suicides to manslaughter, the family and their defenders have kept the Kennedy brand intact. Now, in Ask Not, best-selling author and journalist Maureen Callahan reveals the Kennedys' hidden history of violence and exploitation, laying bare their unrepentant sexism and rampant depravity, while also restoring these women and girls to their rightful place at the center of the dynasty's story. From Jacqueline Onassis and Marilyn Monroe to Carolyn Bessette, Martha Moxley, Mary Jo Kopechne, Rosemary Kennedy, and many others whose names aren't nearly as well known but should be. Drawing on years of explosive reportage and written in electric prose, Ask Not is a long overdue reckoning with this fabled family and a consequential part of American history that is still very much with us. At long last, Callahan redirects the spotlight to the women in the Kennedys' orbit, paying homage to those who freed themselves and giving voice to those who, through no fault of their own, could not. So yeah, it only took me about 2 days to finish this audiobook, to be completely honest with you. I was literally like just looking for chores around the house to do so that I could like just keep my headphones in and like continue to listen as I was just totally gripped by all of these different stories. And listener, I should preface also by saying, I mean, I'm a Kennedy fan. I'm here for Camelot. I have been to the JFK library multiple times. I love this family. I'm deep into Love Story, Ryan Murphy's adaptation of Carolyn Bessette and JFK Jr. Yes, it's absolutely capital F fiction, but I don't care. I'm here for it, and that's totally fine. It covers stories that a lot of us know. We know some of what Jackie went through. We know some of what Carolyn went through. If you follow this, this prominent family super closely, you know who we're talking about when we talk about Martha Moxley or Mary Jo Kopechne. But there were names in this book that I did not even know, that I was not even aware of. So I appreciated it for its educational value, for how digestible it was. And this journalist, this author, got her facts straight. And she really, really puts her effort into her research. She actually does like a lot of kind of books like this. There's one of hers, I think, that's actually like one on Lady Gaga. There's another one on like a serial killer. I can't remember which one it is. I'm not sure. Like, running the it's like a whole thing. But yeah, I was eating it all up. It was really good. So
I have to say, Jordan, I am so curious to listen to this one. This is like moving to the top of my audiobook list. I like the story. As you were listening, the names, we know many of them, but the story of Rosemary Kennedy, to this day, like, I think that came out at big headline news a couple years ago about, she was still living at the time and, in a home, and that, like, that I still think about her story, like, even, now it's just tragic, and that's not putting her above any of the others. It's just one that stands out. Like, it's all tragic, and this sounds really interesting.
It is very, very interesting. So.
I too feel like I have like a secret obsession with the Kennedy family because they're almost like, if you will, like American royalty in a way. Like they were just so huge, and their story is so tragic, and yet they also created a lot of tragedy in their wake as well. But I started watching the Hulu series too, so I'm like 30 minutes into episode 1 because I had to pause it, but I'm like, I'm in for it. I'm down.
It's so you have to know, like, because this is the thing, right? Because I'm over here like, okay, yes, I know that some of, like, obviously it's Ryan Murphy, like, no, this is not this is not rooted, this is not rooted in truth, like, no. And Caroline Kennedy's son actually came out on an interview. Like, he is, of course, 100% against this series and whatnot, and says, I took the line capital F fiction from him. He's like, please realize that this man has not fact checked, has not researched. Like, this is all just things that, people... We want to eat it up because you are our American royal family. So yes. There you go. So I do recommend it in audiobook form too, just because I think it's an easy listen. I'd be curious if the physical has like pictures and different things like that too, because I was looking up different women and I was like looking up like different timelines and things. So it also kind of sent me into a little bit of a deep dive. But
nice.
Anyway.
That
So
sounds really good.
that is my first book. Okay. I'm going to shift gears a little bit here too. I was kind of excited to bring this one to the podcast for a recap. So, listener, let me tell you about Conform by Ariel Sullivan. In the far future, one young woman finds herself torn between two loves and two sides of a rebellion boiling under the surface in this first novel of a sweeping dystopian romance trilogy. Centuries after a catastrophic world war nearly decimated the human population, a city arose from the ashes ruled by an elusive and technologically advanced group called the Illum. At 27, Emmeline lives in limbo, wasting away her days in a job sorting ancient human art for destruction and waiting to be selected as a mate for a procreation contract. Where others look forward to being chosen, Emmeline has never felt like she fit into a society where a person's worth is determined by constantly monitored genes, health, and the ability to procreate. She has struggled to keep her discomfort a secret, but when she's finally chosen, her mate is revealed to be a member of the Illum named Colin, a man who seems to be harboring secrets of his own. It is the first time an Illum has taken a mate in decades, leaving Emmeline and others baffled as to why she was chosen. Soon she is swept into the dangerous game of courting, filled with ball gowns, lavish dinners, and watchful eyes where one wrong move can mean elimination. While parts of this elite lifestyle are unexpectedly appealing, the more embroiled she becomes, the more she sees its dark underbelly, and a rebellion rising in secret. Colin is confusing, both cold and protective, and worse, she finds herself drawn to the very last person she should be falling for, Hal, one of the resistance leaders. As she draws closer to both Colin and Hal, the Illum exercise their power in increasingly brutal ways, forcing Emmeline to question everything. Most of all, whether she'll have to give up her heart and even her life to stop them.
Ooh, this is giving me like Handmaid's Tale.
So I like that you said that. Think Handmaid's Tale meets Red Rising if Red Rising was more focused on like romance, because there's a lot of like the politics in this, as far as even just like the world and like the caste system and different things like that. That was what intrigued me about this one. The world building isn't super complicated or like involved for you to like have to understand. So that was super helpful. And I really kind of appreciate this triangle in a weird way between Emmeline, Colin, and Hal. Like you kind of see layers of all of them that you can appreciate. And I am intrigued. So there's a prequel called Beneath that actually comes out at the end of this month, and you best believe I pre-ordered that because I'm super excited to follow along with what happens in this story. So yes,
I've seen this one, Jordan. I'm so glad you brought this because I have seen this everywhere and I have been so curious. It's on my like laundry list of romantasy books.
Yeah.
List because I love when you get like politics and the love triangle and it's well done, and that this sounds really interesting.
Yeah, and that's where I was like bringing it kind of because I see elements of Red Rising. It's not as intricate, the world building necessarily. Certainly though, the politics of it, the way that this regime sort of monitors you, right? Like, this isn't spoiling anything necessarily. I mean, the book literally starts out with like the chip that is inside her, like gives her a report. Here's your levels for today. And this is day of ovulation. You're like, here's like, this is what you need for nutrients today because you seem to be lacking this like, and it's all like and that's kind of a little bit where Handmaid's Tale it sort of comes in.
Yeah.
I haven't read Handmaid's Tale. I'm scared to.
Yeah, fair.
I feel like between the book and then I don't know if anyone's watched the show. I had to stop after a while because I was just
Me
like,
too.
I don't know where this is
Same.
going.
Yep.
But like
Yeah.
the first couple of seasons, I feel like really follows this because it also gets a lot more political, a lot more like
Yeah.
this is what other powers are doing. There's also like a resistance in there that is kind of coming to life. So I feel like that's where I'm making that parallel where it's more like dystopian
Yes.
Well, it's
America,
also kind
if
of
you
given
will.
me uglies from like my childhood. And then, sorry, there's another book too, and I got distracted because, like, Jordan, as you were talking about this, I was like, this sounds like so much like a book I read in high school. I can literally picture the cover, and I can't figure out the name of it. So I was trying to find the name of it because I can see the cover so vividly in my head, and I was like, this sounds like an adult, more complex version of that series, and I love that series, and I can't think of it.
It'll come to you like in your sleep tonight.
I was gonna say, report back.
I can literally
Report back.
see. I'm like, do you guys want me to start describing this cover to you?
And we'll just see if we know.
We can
I don't
guess it.
know.
No, it's okay. But yeah, that's on my TBR now for sure.
Yeah. Same.
Highly recommend. And it's not one of those that's, I don't remember it being super duper long. I feel like it was pretty easy and fast to read. So
Well, on my TBR too. Well, I'm gonna shift gears again, but before I do, I'll talk about my nightcap, which is a paloma. So, Jordan, I'm going off of your theme, right? It was 60 degrees and sunny, not a cloud in the sky here yesterday. You can see out my window. That is not the case today. So I'm manifesting spring in a cup right now.
there you go.
With my paloma. Okay, so my first book that I wanted to talk about, I cannot shut up about this book. I've texted Bree about this book. I've like posted all over my bookstagram about this book. Sara Ackerman, the author, is coming to the pod later this year. Like, I literally cannot stop talking. Yeah, talking about this book, The Shark House. So The Shark House was published in January of this year. Let's just jump in. Let me thank you, Goodreads, for this summary. People aren't the only ones who migrate to Hawaii for a warmer winter. 1998. In the heart of paradise, danger lurks beneath the surface. Biologist and shark whisperer Minnow Gray travels to the rugged Hawaii coastline, where a series of shark attacks have left the island community on edge. Tasked with uncovering what's going on, she dives into the blue depths and discovers the problem runs deeper than just one dangerous great white. Haunted by her own past, marked by a tragic shark encounter, Minnow finds herself drawn into a tangled web of intrigue and peril that extends far beyond the ocean surface. A scandal that implicates some of the island's most powerful people. Determined to uncover the reason for these attacks before the mayor calls a mass killing of sharks in the area, Minnow forms an unexpected alliance with enigmatic fisherman Luke Greenwood, whose presence ignites feelings she can't ignore, but also stirs questions about his part in it all. As Minnow works to shield the sharks from the island's fear-fueled backlash, drawing help from two Hawaiian brothers who are housing her, she unravels a scandal that shakes the community to its core. But it's not just the secrets of the island that rise to the surface. Minnow must confront her own traumatic past, the haunting memories that have shaped her life, and her connection to these misunderstood predators and to this place. Dun, dun, dun.
All you had to tell me was that it was set in Hawaii.
I knew, Jordan, I would catch you on that one. And like 1998 Hawaii, so like 90s kids, like there's a bunch of fun, worth reading for that right there. But honestly, this book made me fall in love with sharks all over again. So fun fact, and this is more like personal for me, but when I went to college, I was convinced I was going to be a marine biologist and study sharks, and that was going to be my career path. I took my first marine biologist class freshman year, failed miserably. Big learning moment for me. Did not major in it at all. Total career pivot. But you live and learn, right? And ended up marrying someone who majored in marine biology. So it all comes full circle.
No way.
Yeah. So I love sharks. So when I saw this that was, coming up and available as an art copy, I was like, yes, please, just on a personal note. But beyond that, I love this book. It is at this point, I know we're only in March, but at this point, one of my like top 5 books of the year.
Wow.
I like loved the writing was stunning. I think there's something about books like this. Like I think Megan and Jordan, you may have both read, I don't know, Brie, about you, but Wild Dark Shore last year. And that like writing that almost is as haunting as the scenery that it's set in. Hawaii's not haunting, but the writing very much mirrors like the feelings. It feels very like it matches the vibe. The writing was just spectacular in this. I also love, and I don't know if there's an official term out there, I'm sure there is, but these like environmental thrillers, right? That kind of combine like an environmental component of some kind, in this case, sharks and ocean conservation and, all that goes into being in a community that, lives very close and in tune with the ocean. And then the thriller and mystery is the human side, the scandal, the error, there's something that's impacting those. And I loved that. That was a really interesting dichotomy between these two. That's why I relate it to Wild Dark Shore, kind of in that.
So I was going to say, these books seem to be carving a space
totally
that has not, that I'm not aware has really kind of been around as much.
I agree with
I feel
that.
like more so in like movies than writing.
Yeah, well, I think even like A Gift Before Dying, we had Malcolm Kemp on the show too, and I would definitely classify that one where the landscape and the environment it's so
Just as
immersive and so crucial to the mystery and the suspense, the thriller aspect of the story.
So true.
Yes.
Yep. So I love, like, this is a new genre for me. I mean, new for everyone, but I am definitely looking to read more in this space. I think one of the things that I really loved most, though, was Luna. It's an 18-foot great white shark. She's up there with Marcellus, Brie. Marcellus and Luna. I just imagine, like, Jordan, like, playing in the ocean together. Not that octopus and great white sharks, like, play, but in my mind, literary fiction.
I'd probably choose the octopus before the shark, but that's me. That's a personal choice.
So Luna is, there's if you know about sharks, there's Farallon Islands are off the coast of California. And it's where it's thought that they travel every year to have their pups. And so you often see like the biggest great whites in the Farallon Islands, and then the thought is they might migrate to Hawaii. That's like the very summary level. But the biggest great white sharks are the females because they have babies. And so they're called sisters, capital S, the sisters. So if when they mention a great white in the book that's over 16, 17, 18 feet, it's called one of the sisters. So Luna is one of the sisters, and Luna, I won't give it away, but Luna and Minnow have a special connection, and she is up there with Marcellus for me. As far as literary,
that is insane. I'm not a shark gal myself.
No,
I'm not either personally, but do I respect and understand, kind of the connection Emily is making? I do.
I'm fascinated by them. I love Shark Week.
100%.
Yep. I can watch it from the safety of my couch in my landlocked state, and that's where I'm at.
I will say, one of the coolest life experiences. My husband and I went to the Bahamas together on a trip, and we're big scuba divers, and we actually did a shark feeding dive in the Bahamas.
You fed them?
No way.
Well, I was not physically handing them the food, but we basically, in our scuba gear, we're about 30, 40 feet of water in a circle on the bottom. And then we had a couple dive masters in chainmail that descended into the center of the circle and were feeding them.
I'm just getting goosebumps
coming in. It was my heart was pounding the whole time. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I was chill as a cucumber down there. But it was one of the coolest life moments to watch them all come in, and cage diving is for sure on my bucket list.
I was about to ask, would you ever go cage diving?
100%.
And Brie, would you?
Jared and I have talked about this. So there is a part of me that really wants to. Um, I do worry about myself getting there and then not being able to go through with it. But I like the short answer is yes. I would like to, I think. I'm I'm scared of them, but I'm equally fascinated by them. And like I love pulling out random shark facts. I did it this past weekend with family. Like
I love
I was
it.
like, did anybody know this? Um and my mother-in-law was like, that was quite literally the most random like animal fact you could have given
I love
everybody.
it. I love
Um
it. I love it.
so
Well,
I think so.
Megan and I will stay safe,
Mhm. We're
um,
going.
We're
South
going.
safely
Africa.
away,
Here we go. We're in
and
it.
then
We're going.
Yeah.
I'm
This might
gonna
be
be
unpopular opinion. I think I would rather here's a fun game of would you rather. I think I would rather encounter a bear than a shark.
No, no, no.
Oh,
Oh,
no. I would rather encounter a shark than a bear.
I'd go with them for the sharks before the
Yeah.
bear.
I
I'm
think I would
sorry.
rather see a bear in the wild than see a shark in the wild.
No, no, no.
Nope. No.
Nah.
I've fed stingrays. That was fun.
There you go.
Relatives.
There you
Try
go.
to
Distant
contribute to
relatives.
So anyway,
That's
whether
got
you
it.
would swim the sharks or would not, the Shark House, if you enjoy what I'll call those environmental thrillers, environmental mysteries, highly recommend. As I said, I cannot shut up about this book. I love it.
Oh my gosh, I just saw two. Sorry. Lee Kelly
No.
and Jennifer Thorne are on that, and I'm talking to them next week.
Oh,
They're
there
the
you
Yay.
go.
quote on the
See?
front.
See? It's everywhere. Just read it.
Community.
It's a community. Just read it. You'll thank me later. Okay, so for my second book, I am also pivoting, whole nother different direction. We're gonna leave the sharks in the ocean. And I read the entirely true story of the fantastical mesmerist Nora Gray. Say that 5 times fast.
It's quite the title.
By Kathleen Kaufman. So my sister recommended this book, and I went in 97% blind, I'll say, because she just like gave me the 60-second overview, said you'll enjoy it, and here you go. And I did. So let's dive in. Thank you, Goodreads, as always, for this summary. Leaving behind a quiet life of simple comforts, Nairna Lyeth traverses the Scottish countryside with her charlatan father Tavish. From remote cottages to rural fairs, the duo scrapes by on paltry coins as Tavish orchestrates encounters with the departed, while Nairna interprets tarot cards for those willing to pay for what they wish to hear. But beyond her father's trickery, Nairna possesses a genuine gift for communicating with the spirit world, one that could get an impoverished country girl branded a witch. A talent inherited from her grandmother, Lottie Leith, widow of a Welsh coal miner, whose story of imprisonment and exploitation in a notorious asylum is calling out to Nairna from 4 decades past, a warning to break free from the manipulations, greed, and betrayals of others. What do the cards hold for Nairna's future? Rescued from homelessness by a well-connected stranger, Nairna is whisked into a new life among Edinburgh's elite spiritualist circle, including visiting American star Dorothy Kellings. Researchers, doctors, psychics, and thrill seekers clamor for the rising young medium. But after a seance with blood-chilling results, a shocking scandal ensues, and Nairna flees to a secluded community near Boston, where she assumes a new identity as Nora Gray. But Nora can't stay hidden when Dorothy Kellings offers her the chance to face all comers and silent skeptics at a spectacular seance at Boston's Old South Meeting Hall, where Nora will come face to face at last with her spiritual guide, the courageous Lottie Leith, whose heart-wrenching story and profound messages are indelibly tied to Nora's destiny.
I love. We're going from the beaches of Hawaii to the highlands of Scotland.
Boston 1900s to asylums in the 1800s.
I love it.
We bring it all. I did preface that with we're leaving the sharks in the ocean, or maybe not. I don't know. Fun. So this book totally captivated me, then stomped and crushed my heart and tried to stitch it back together, but is still trying. As I said, I walked in like 97% blind because my sister did mention like, hey, it's seances and mediums and it's historical fiction and I think you'd enjoy it. And that was about all I got. It is dual POV. So we do go back and forth between Nora, kind of, and her timeline with her dad following her from Edinburgh into Boston. And then we switch to also get Lottie's perspective, kind of from the moment that she's widowed and what she goes through. So it's really interesting because their stories interconnect, especially as, I don't know if we call it magical realism, spiritualism, but they do talk about how Nora does have a connection to Lottie's spirit in the spirit world, and that comes through in both POVs, which makes it kind of an interesting story. I think, though, what I will say, trigger warnings. I think we all know that asylums in the mid-Victorian era were not a place you wanted to be. So trigger warnings all over the place. I think Kathleen Kaufman does a really good job of not shying away from the horror that happened, but writing about it in a way that is not horror for horror's sake, if that makes sense. Like it was part of the story, but she didn't shy away from it. But trigger warnings, you know where I'm going with that. And it was not a great place. But so I mentioned, and there's a lot of topics, I think, on, ghosts and spiritual guides and seances and lots of opinions on whether you believe or don't believe or what you think or any of that. I think the bigger theme in this book that I really enjoyed, while it was entertaining to hear, that side of it, is it really talked about two women navigating a world that really doesn't give them much control over anything. And how do they, in their respective timelines, carve out their own space, one successfully and one not so successfully. And what does that mean for Nora, who's the descendant, and her future going forward?
I'm so invested.
So I'll leave it there. I think we all know the line, well-behaved women rarely make history. And that definitely is something that continues kind of through this book. The ending was, I will say, appropriate and made me satisfied with the story, if not still heartbroken with how things evolved. We'll leave it there.
Fair enough. That sounds really good. It kind of reminds me of Brie, what's the one that we read that I suck at titles. Oh, the Lost Apothecary. For some reason I'm getting like that kind of idea. I know it's not like quite the same, but it's still this like, I don't know, period of time where women clearly, like, if you weren't part of the norm of society, you were branded a certain way and kind of banished, and everything is then behind closed doors if you want to communicate with them. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm picking up what you're putting down a little bit.
I haven't read that one, but I think, Megan, that's the vibe.
Yeah.
It's been on my list for sure. This one's definitely up there now too.
Yeah. It's entertaining. It's good. I would recommend for sure.
I'm super invested.
I'm gonna find out what happens.
In fact, actually, she's not telling us. She's already started reading.
She's already reading.
I wish. No, not quite. Okay, I will go ahead and take us home now. So, the nightcap I'm going to tell you about is called A West Side Story, and it's a cocktail that is from a local place where I live. I will say it's not even on the menu anymore. I actually wanted to bring like one of their new ones, but I forgot to look up the ingredients and all of that. So, but the West Side Story, when it was on their menu, was like one of my favorite drinks, and I literally wrote everything down because I'm gonna recreate it at some point. So come back when you want the actual recipe or my version of it. But the West Side Story is gin, sliced vanilla, lime, mint, and bitters. It's very refreshing. Megan, I had it when you visited me and we went to that food hall.
Yes, I had a French 75 that time, but
You did, but yeah, so that's what's been on my mind. And then, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm bringing you books that I read last year, and that I know that these ones got like mentioned at times, but I don't think, well, I know I never covered them, and I don't think anybody else did. So, and if they did, then you get to hear it twice in a new point of view.
There you go.
Okay, so the first one I'm going to start with is Silver Elite by Dani Francis. Has anybody else read this?
No.
On my list, no, for
Okay.
sure.
Psychic gifts. Oh, thank you to Goodreads. Psychic gifts are a death sentence, and there are rules to survival. Trust no one, lie to everyone, and whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. Trust no one. Ren Darlington has spent her whole life hiding, honing her psychic abilities, and aiding the rebel uprising in small ways. On the continent, capital C, being modified means certain death, and Ren is one of the most powerful mods in existence. When one careless mistake places her in the hands of the enemy and she's forced to join Silverblock, their most elite training program, she's finally handed the perfect opportunity to strike a devastating blow from inside their ranks. Lie to everyone. But training for Silverblock can be deadly, especially when you're harboring dangerous secrets and living in close quarters with everyone who wants you dead. And whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. As the stakes grow higher, Ren must prove herself, but that's easier said than done when your commanding officer is the ruthless and irresistible Cross Redden, who doesn't miss anything when it comes to her. And as war rages between mods like her and those who aim to destroy them, Ren must decide just how far she's willing to go to protect herself and how much of the continent is worth saving. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous to read this one because there was like so much talk about it on Bookstagram and Book Talk last year. So with all of the hype and then I think mixed reviews, I was just nervous. I inhaled it. Like I devoured it and I read it so fast. If you're wanting to read for like total vibes and entertainment factor, it's light fantasy. It's a light dystopian world, but it's got good banter, romance, emphasis on a lot of lust with all of that. Great side characters. Kane is like one of my favorite side characters. Then this is it. Like it's a good time. If I think a lot of people, I mean, this is me speculating, and I feel like people have kind of been like nitpicking it and maybe they just had different expectations, but for a purely like entertaining read that is a mild Divergent meets Fourth Wing, but no dragons and like definitely not the same level of world building, then I think that this is a really good one. And like, I'm definitely going to pick up the second one. I'm excited about it. It does leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger, but I enjoyed the light politics with it for the most part. I know some people have some fair points to make about all of that, but overall I thought it was a very entertaining, fun read. Fair?
Nice.
Love it.
Okay.
Fair?
Love it.
None of you have read it? Fair?
Fair enough.
Yeah, no. I feel like I've heard such mixed things too. So it's not that I haven't wanted to read it. I think probably like you, I hesitate. So once I actually bite the bullet and like just do it, I probably will really like it. I
mean,
I don't-
also, I love a female character who's gonna be put in enemy arms and has to fight people and save the world at the same time.
Yep.
Like, I'm all for it.
I'm
I'll
getting
read
like
it.
One Dark Window vibes a little bit,
Okay,
but
what part?
maybe it's the like what's their names, Ren,
Oh.
that like she's modified and psychic and her like it's in her head, right?
Mhm.
I'm right generalizing, and Cross Redden is like the leader of the training group. Like that romance
Yes.
sounds very parallel to One Dark Window.
Yes.
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to take us in a totally different direction and end on The Perfect Marriage by Jeneva Rose, right? I don't know.
Geneva?
Jeneva?
I don't know.
Book 2.
Oh, wait.
No.
No, this is book one.
Book 1. I'm sorry.
Perfect Divorce.
I was like,
That's the one I was thinking of.
oh
Book
my
1.
gosh, you totally just had, okay, I had a mini heart attack. No, this is book, This is book one. This is book one, which I know we had like mentioned it, but I don't think
I think I might have mentioned it as like one of my top books of one year.
Yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's been talked about.
I know we've talked about it. I don't know if it's been covered, but if it has, like I said, I don't
Again,
care.
who
No.
cares? Let's do it again. Bring it in
Do it all over
2026.
again. But don't ask me a lot of questions because I read it a long time ago. Okay, so this is also from Goodreads. Would you defend your husband if he was accused of killing his mistress? Which actually, I'll just present that question to the class. Would you?
Any chaos question button.
Yeah, seriously. Where's
I
the
was
scream
gonna say,
and
where's
go?
Emily's button? Emily's button wasn't
That was very
pressed.
unintentional. I was
There,
just like,
there.
wait, open up the floor. Everybody.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna be too full of rage against my cheating husband to want to have anything to do with him. So no defense on my part. You reap what you sowed, bitch. Bye.
And that is why Megan would have the perfect divorce.
Yeah. It'd be very clean.
Ugh.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
I
don't know.
I don't know. Go ahead, Emily.
Yeah. I hate to say like it depends because that's such a cop-out answer for this question. But it would be a bit situational. I think I would so that I could take my own revenge privately when he got up, when I like acquitted him, you know, and got him out of the trial, then I would be like, then I, you know, you're mine, bitch, basically, would be my take after that. And like, I got you free, so you owe me, so now you're really mine.
There you go.
You're a little more
No.
plotting. I think I'm a little more surface level. Like, cut you off like a limb.
Emily says,
You know?
Emily says, take a page from my book. I'm
Yes.
just kidding. No, I loved your answer. It depends. So we have a joke. Listener, if you remember, I shared that I work in insurance, right? And age-old question, is this covered? Is that covered by your insurance? Joke is that the answer is, I don't know. It depends. Tell me what your policy says. Right? What does the policy language say? So here it says, would you defend him if he was accused? So that doesn't necessarily mean that he did it.
Loophole.
I know.
Did he do it? Did he not do it? I like
It is his
Emily's
mistress.
idea.
That's different. That's
Now, see, but that's where I was about to say, but I like Emily's idea that if I were to help him, there would definitely be some strategizing
Yeah.
on the back. Like this is not the end for you.
This is not pro bono legal work.
There you go. There you go.
Just saying.
What would you do?
probably not.
She said, nah.
Yep.
Nah.
Best of luck to you. I'm taking
Well,
the dog
good
on
for them.
us.
See you later.
All right. Tell us about this book, Bree.
Okay. Well, on that note, Sarah Morgan is a successful and powerful defense attorney in Washington, D.C. At 33 years old, she is named partner at her firm, and life is going exactly how she planned. The same cannot be said for her husband, Adam. He's a struggling writer who has had little success in his career. He begins to tire of his and Sarah's relationship as she is constantly working. Out in the secluded woods at Adam and Sarah's second home, Adam engages in a passionate affair with Kelly Summers. Then one morning, everything changes. Adam is arrested for Kelly's murder. She had been found stabbed to death in Adam and Sarah's second home. Sarah soon finds herself playing the defender for her own husband, a man accused of murdering his mistress. But is Adam guilty or is he innocent? Jordan, that goes back to you. Is he guilty or is he innocent? We don't know, but we do know that he is having an affair. Okay, so I said, like, talk about tons of unlikable characters, but just so much tea. So if you're a fan of mysteries and a bit of suspense, and you don't need to like anyone in the book, then I highly, highly, highly recommend. I say that because like someone last year was like talking to me, was saying stuff, well, with the books we were talking about on the podcast about like not liking any characters. And I was like, I don't think you're supposed to like them. I think they're supposed to be super unlikable. So as long as you don't have to like literally anybody, then I highly, highly recommend. I thought the premise of this was so fascinating. Obviously, I don't want it to happen in real life. I would hate to be in either of their positions, but I loved and just thought it was like a sick, twisting, brilliant idea. And then the dual and alternating points of view for me were so well done, and it makes the reveal so incredibly impactful when you get to it, when you finally understand what happened and what this marriage has been and where it's going. So
Okay, I have to ask, on a scale of, with the twist for like the reveal, on a scale of 1 to the housemaid, where did this
oh,
fall?
it was right up there with me with the
Okay.
housemaid. Yeah.
Okay,
Megan, would
that's
you
fine.
agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree wholeheartedly. I feel like this storyline definitely reminds me a lot. Like, I think there are a lot of parallels to
Housemaid.
those book. Yes. There's also one, I think I brought it in the past and I'm not going to remember the title of it, but there was an AR Tour book that I brought that
Oh,
also
yes.
has a similar, like, you end up, it's either defending or like she was maybe like the therapist for the person that was like somehow tied in to, so it was just like a whole like double standard type thing, which I really enjoy when you kind of get that portion of the reveal of, again, like the lawyer defending her own husband, the therapist treating her own, you know, murder patient or murder victim or whatever the case is. It just, I feel like that's such a fascinating line to kind of toe.
Yeah.
But
And then Bree, did you read the Perfect Divorce then
not yet,
too?
but I
Did you
do
read the
have
second one?
it.
Oh, there you go.
And they
Okay.
match because
Oh.
Megan got me the second one. So
Oh,
that I
there
have
you
beautiful
go.
bloody book edges.
Oh, yeah,
So-
that's right. That was the one. That's when we were talking about it because you showed
Yes.
off the sprayed edges.
Oh, I know we
Yeah.
talked about it because I had to show it. So yeah.
That was one of the last sprayed edges that I found at my Costco book station. Like RIP Costco book section.
Why do we think that went away?
That's so sad.
No idea, but it's tragic.
It is very
Aw.
tragic.
I will say,
Sorry,
I
Ray.
haven't been to
Ariel.
Costco in so
oh no,
long.
you're good. I just now like talking about it, I have all these memories resurfacing from reading it. And I will say the author's note at the end was also just like very satisfying because I, from what I remember, I don't know that she ever gathered there was going to be like quite this level of success with the story. And then the versions today that have been printed like have gone through numerous edits, but like she had some men or a man in particular who was just like so vocal, I guess, to her. And so it's just very satisfying to see like a female author to tell this story and be so successful with it and kind of like stick it to him a bit as well. And I thought it was a nice just cherry on top that she included some of that in her author's note as well.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Love it.
Okay, I just realized I should
Yay.
probably tell you like what else is coming up this month, and then I like sort of forgot. No, I didn't. I I sort of forgot. I didn't. So we coming up this month, we have a couple more author conversations yet that I'm very excited for everybody to hear about. The conversation about Her Hidden Fire was amazing. Love that. And then we're talking to Angela about, I'm like, where did all my books go? Angela Montoya about Carnival Fantastico, which has been, I like just finished this and is very like Night Circus meets Divine Rivals.
I was gonna say, that looks very Night Circus on the cover.
Yeah.
Yes, so I definitely got it kind of initially at the beginning with just it's a carnival that travels, that kind of appears. Nobody knows when it's coming or where it's going necessarily, but there's a lot of Hispanic culture and heritage also with it, and from what I gather, like a lot of folklore, and then different in terms of what the magic and the illusions are, and it's I would say a little bit darker than Night Circus and kind of has a Divine Rivals uh like tone to it with the characters. So there's that
Nice.
one. And then Rebecca Lehman with The Beheading Game. That conversation's coming up at the end of the month as well. Was so much fun to talk to her about her reimagination of Anne Boleyn literally coming back to life, putting her head back on her body, and trying to kill Henry VIII. Is
I want that story.
oh yeah, 100%. So, um,
What does our Philippa Gregory loving
I haven't
co-host think of
haven't read
that?
it yet, but I am like anything Tudor history, I devour it. So it is like high on my TBR. It reminds me of the Catherine Howard conspiracy series.
That was the one you were telling me to
Yeah,
read, right?
which
Didn't you get me one of those ones?
I think that which I will probably bring to a future reading recap because it is so good. Stay tuned.
please do. Please do.
Yeah.
So that was a really incredible conversation, and I'm excited about that one. And then we're finishing out the Red Rising saga with Morning Star.
So excited. I have to get reading.
I can't
You'll
believe you
devour it.
haven't started.
Listen, I know. Well,
You'll
there's
devour
been
it.
a lot going on the personal side. So
Good.
I'm anxiously hesitant to dive back into the world,
I think that's fair. Yeah.
but
The
it'll be
ending's worth it. I'll tell you that.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Will you
midway.
finish it?
No, I'm midway through.
I
And
saw
it's-
it. Yeah, you're like 250 of 500,
I
so
have-
you're literally like halfway.
I have to update my pages like so particularly so that I don't lose it since I've got this crazy man like reading it with me.
Are you ahead of him or is he ahead of you?
He's ahead of me.
I want to hear Jared's 3 emoji review of Morningstar.
Yes, make him give us one.
Okay.
There you go.
I can make that
Yeah.
happen. Don't let me forget because I might forget, but I can make that happen.
I'm curious.
Awesome. Well, this was a journey. My TBR has grown. As someone commented today, this podcast makes it longer than the CVS receipt list. So,
Oh, yeah.
but I think that means we're doing our job.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
I have like
Indeed.
my nightstand. So I had to make a new category in Goodreads called ONR, owned, not read, so that I like don't repurchase books that I already have. So those books are all on my nightstand. I don't know if you can see. And it's like I'm getting less and less space. I have like a shelf that's completely full, and then the top is getting completely full. And then as I read them, I then put them in my library shelves so that I like am filing them away. But I'm literally running out of room because I keep A, getting more books, and B, ordering more books to like read to keep up with our growing list. Like I told Kyle the other day, I'm like, I am like overwhelmed with truly how much reading I want to do and just don't have the time to get to it.
I feel it,
Totally.
girl.
Sorry for that little tangent real
I
quick.
think what's hard is like everybody always brings books that I'm like, well, I really want to read that. But then I'm like, but I have other books that like I need to read it and I want to bring new stuff to the podcast too. And then I'm like, and then there's the author books and then there's
Yeah.
anything else. And so I'm just like, oh, how do I do it all? But I'll take this over not.
Yes. I will
Yep.
say it's significantly cut down my TV time, which is great. I'm putting a limit on my own screen time so that I can read more.
There you go.
Screen time, it's funny, has been limited, I think, by my kids have their choices, which are different preferences than mine. So I actually get more reading done because I can read while they're
There you go.
like, right? And so
Oh, yeah.
better for me, maybe not so good for them, but you know.
Everyone needs a break. It makes
Everyone needs
it
a
all
break.
works out.
Balance, right?
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for listening. Tune in to all of those upcoming episodes as well. Cheers!
Cheers, my friends.
Thanks so much for listening. The Narratives and Nightcaps podcast is a production of The Craft Co. with intro music created by Remington Haynes.
Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow at Narratives and Nightcaps on Instagram or visit our website, narrativesandnightcaps.com.
Sign up for our newsletter to always know what we're reading next, which authors are joining us on the show, and for extra bookish and beverage info.
Connect with our additional co-hosts, Jordan and Emily, as well.
You can find me on Instagram at Cozy Reads and Sips.
And you can find me on Instagram at books.bottles.
Cheers!
Cheers.